Doot, doot. And hello. How are you doing, Mama?
I'm doing all right.
Good. Things over here going all right as well. What all have you been up to? We didn't really talk about that yesterday because uh, you weren't on at the weren't able to be on at the start. We sort of
Yeah,
rushed switching into Sudoku.
yeah. Now mostly working.
Mhm.
Although only worked really only worked till about 2 today,
Hmm.
and then we were all watching safety videos and training videos for the rest of the day because the entire system was down, like
Ah,
worldwide.
interesting.
And the rumor is it's uh given that it's, everything is cyber attack on
Hmm.
Amazon.
Interesting. Well,
So
I
yeah, got
wonder.
paid for 4 hours of nothing.
Yeah. Hopefully they can figure out what that was. I don't particularly like Amazon, but a lot of people use Amazon for their stuff, so that inevitably
Yes, they
impacts a
do.
lot of people. So, especially for stuff that people like order things that they need, which they shouldn't be ordering from Amazon, but sometimes you don't have other options. All right. I don't have anything uh, exciting to share from my side. Sort of been doing the same old stuff. So, ready to get into Sudoku?
Yep.
Alright, start recording. I have now hit. So, first puzzle today is The Tulip by Odd van de Wettering. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along an arrow must sum to the digit in that arrow's circle. And that's it, just arrows. But we've got a lot of stacking arrows, so this one must be larger than this one, which must be larger than that one, which must be larger than this one, which is a minimum of 3. Well, actually, no, it's not a minimum of 3, because that's a minimum of 10, divided by 2 is a minimum of 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. Which I guess means this is 1 or 2, all the way up.
Yep.
And this one is duplicated there, this one's duplicated there. Oh, we've got a 1-2 pair here. So this ends up being a 5. This is either 6, 8, or 7, 8. But either way, this is an 8, which makes this a 9 and a 1. This is the 1-2 pair here. So
Right.
this 5, 1, 6, plus 2 is 8, or 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 1 is 8. Which I guess means we don't need colors for these anymore. But we do have a 1, 2, 3, 4 pair here. This isn't a 2, that's not a 3. The rest are 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Hey, the
Say again.
never mind. I it wasn't what my brain was trying to say it was.
Okay.
Well, actually,
Well,
I guess in box 5,
okay.
since the green is 6 or 7,
Yeah.
and it can't have 1 or 2 on the inside, that's gonna have to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. I mean 3, 4. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
And that makes this 1 through 4 here, I think. Well, being it on an arrow, it can't be a 1, so that removes 6 as a possibility.
And now the tip of the arrows, those 2 arrows, the tip of those 2 arrows cannot be 4. For those 2 circles, since the max those can be is 4.
Oh, there.
Yeah, the tips of those arrows.
Yeah.
I guess
Now,
I could have been a little more clear.
no, I was just slow. Now the green circle in the middle. If this was a 6, we would lose the 3, but we'd also lose the 5. So this cannot be a 6, because I'd have to use a 2 in here, because it would have to be 2 and 4 in opposite directions, because our 5 here, and the fact that it's on an arrow, takes off of 1s. So this isn't just a 6, it's a 7. And we have 3, 4 in either direction, and 2, 5 going from the outside in.
Right, and the 1, 2 in box 5 is resolved.
Right, because 5 plus 2, 7 plus 1, takes a 2 out of that. And I guess purple can still be one of these two on the bottom here. Same with orange. So that's not that helpful yet. This was a 2. We'd have 1, 1, but 4, and then that wouldn't work. So this can't be a 2.
Well, I was looking at column 7. If the 5's the arrow is 2, 3, then that has to be a 4 in, which would make
1, 4, 3, 4.
Yeah, and then the circle in box 2 would have to be 3.
2 and 1.
Yeah.
But I think the same logic that took 2 off of this takes the 2 off of this. Because if this is a 2, we've got a pair of 1s. 1 and 4 means that would have to be 2 and 3, but that would clash with this. So 2 and 5 comes off. Now it gives us 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. And then, the 7 doesn't need to be green anymore. But we know that
Those are not the same.
Right.
But there's a 3-4 pair in column 7. And since those two are not the same, then that 3-4 in box 3 is the same as the 3-4 in box 2.
Which means red would have to be this one. Because that can't be 3 or 4. Well, I mean, obviously you couldn't put red and blue together because they sum to 7. And it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4 on here, and you can't put red on its own arrow. So this ends up being red. And well, whichever one is 2, 3 is going to have a 1 here to go to 3. So 3s are technically done in this row and this column.
Right.
I guess the other way of going about it is 3 has to be one of these two. Because this is a 2 and a 1 for 3, or a 1 and a 3 for 4. So 3s end up down there. This can't be a 3, but it could be a 4. One and 3.
Well, it can't be 2,
7.
7.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to say that one can be.
Oh, the 3s in this row have to be in one of these two positions. And that same thing happens over here. Well, I guess it's one of these 3 positions. Because it X-wings here.
Right.
Well, we've got 1 and 3 for 4. 1 and 4 for 5, because you can't do 2 and 3. And 6 can be 1 and 5, but it can't be 2 and 4. This ends up being a 1, doesn't it? Because all of these, they all have... Well, 4 only has one option, 1, 3. So the 1's on top because of the 1 here. 5 cannot be 2, 3, it must be 1, 4, so again, 1 on top. And 6 has 1, 5, or 2, 4, but the 2 takes out 2, 4. So yeah, so this is a 1 here. I wasn't sure that was Correct. But this one has more options because it can be a 7. It doesn't have the
Right.
restriction of this 2. Three, 4, 4, 5, or 5, 6. 3, 4, and 5, 6 have no overlap. Interestingly, you can't put a 7 in these two positions. So you can't put 7 here. So 7 ends up on top and the bottom of box 6. That's not a 3, so that's not a 5. Oh. If this was a 5, 6 pair, if this was a 6, that would make this 5 and 6. This wouldn't work, would it? Because it would be 2 and
No,
3.
Yeah.
So this isn't a 6.
6.
This is red or blue. But now we know we have to have a 4 here. Which isn't that helpful because... Well, I mean, it's a little helpful.
Well, and the 9 circle there in box, that's now a 4, 5.
And that makes this a 3, 4, 4, 5. 3 and 5 makes that a 2 or 6. 4, 5 comes out. 6 and 3 gets removed. This becomes 4, 5, and 6 is all removed. This could be 1 and 2. But if it's 7, we lose.
It can't be 2 and 5.
Right. 2, 5 automatically because of the 9. The 1 and the 6 is removed. But we still have 3, 4 as a possibility. Except here.
Column 5,
3,
yeah.
4, 3, 4.
So that one's
so this
a 1
is a
no
1.
matter what. 2, 6 pair in the row.
Doesn't seem that helpful. Now
2, 6 or 3, or 2, 7 or 3, 6. Those sum to 9 also.
Yeah. Now this cannot be 2 or 6, so this cannot be 7 or 3. 3, 7 takes a 7 out. And that's a 3, 7 pair.
The 3, 7 takes the 3 out from box 1 in column 3, which places the 3 in.
Yeah. And I missed that. This 3 took this one out. So
1, 4, 5, 9 is the column.
for 1?
3. 3 for column
1,
3.
4, 5, 9. Now this can't be a 4 because of our 3, 4 pair. Alright, what's left over in column 1?
6, 7, 8.
And column 2?
5, 7, 8, 9.
What about this 8 here? Obviously 8, 9, and 4 are all out. 1 and 7 are removed from both.
3 is removed
And
from the right one.
Right. And it can't be 2, 6. Because if it was a 2, 6, then that would break this one. So this is 3, this is 5, these are a pair of 7s. 6, 2, 3, 6. 6s are out, 5's out of that one. This isn't a 3, so that is. What's left over here? 4, 5, and 8. These two are both not 5, so that's a 4, 8 pair. 3, 4 makes that a 4 and 8. All of the blues are 3, all of our reds are 4, and we get a 1, 2, 1, 3. 9. I can press the right buttons here. 5, 4, 1, not 5. 7, 8, 9 means that's a 5, which I guess was 6, 7, 8 there as well, but now one of those has to be a 6, so that's not. 7, 8, 9 triple means this is what? 1 and 6. Take 6s out of there. What's the last 3 in here? 2, 8, 9. Got 2 left in a row, so 5 and 6, and the 7.
7.
And I think this is 6, 8, 9 to go with that.
Row 3 has a 6, 7, 8 triple, which leaves a 2.
And 8 has to be one of these two, so it's not here.
That needs a 4. Box 2.
And 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but not 5, 6, or 7. So 5, 6, 7, 2, 6, not a 6, 5, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 9, 8, 8, not 8s, not 8s, not 7s. These two are
2 and 8.
8, 5, 9.
7, 9. 7. Yeah.
And then this top row. 1, 2, and 7.
2. Yeah.
7, 2, 1, 8, 2, 9, 7, 9, 7, 6, 8, 6, and 9. I don't see a 4, a 6, and a 9. And we're done. That was an interesting puzzle. The way that some of the things interacted. Like the tulip here, where we got this. The 1, 2 in here was really interesting. And then the way that this had to be a 1, and the way that these interacted with the 8 here. And similarly down here, how that interacted with the 8. It's just so interesting, like the kinds of pictures you can draw and still make interesting puzzles. Especially with so little given information, you just needed this 2 here. Yeah, and it wasn't a difficult puzzle either. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it like a super easy one, but it's still a good puzzle. Like a 3 on difficulty if I wanted to give it a number. But, alright. Let's take a look at the next one here. UEFA Euro 2024 opening game. That's probably soccer. Not certain.
Yeah.
Not sure what UEFA is.
FA is probably Football Association, since we're like the only place that calls it soccer. Yeah. Everybody else calls it football.
Which makes sense since you use your feet. American football would make much more sense as soccer. Well, I don't know. Maybe hockey should be called soccer, but I don't know. Anyway, so this one was by Arlo Lipov. Not sure. Hopefully I said it. One of those was correct. Normal Sudoku rules apply. In a cage, digits sum to the number shown. Digits along an arrow sum to the digit in the attached circle. In this puzzle, all circled digits are different. A gray line is a palindrome and reads the same in both directions. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive, and digits separated by a black dot are in a 1-to-2 ratio. What were gray lines again? Palindromes.
Well, I know the circle in box 4 is even, since that's a palindrome underneath it.
Yeah.
The arrow.
Yep.
And it's 4, so that's even. It
It's gonna
can't
have to be
2.
an 8 then, isn't it? Well, 4, 6, or 8.
3. Well, 1 and 2 is going to be the minimum. So yeah, it's 6 or 8. So it's going to consist of 1, 2, and 3 on that.
And these can't both be 2.
The circle in box 5, its arrow, even though it's 2, is a palindrome, so they're both the same. So and it's also even.
Yeah, it could be a 1.
It's 1, 2, 3s, or 4s.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
This one has a middle digit that could be odd, which would make the whole sum odd.
Right, yeah.
So this is 3 cells,
1,
so
yeah.
And this is 3 cells plus 1, so 7, 8, 9. We know that these are 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. You can't put a 3 here. And clearly you can't put an 8. I don't think you can put a 6 either. And you just said 1 because of the both Kropke dots.
Well, maybe you can't, yeah. But because that's 1, that would be 2, 3, and that would they'd have to both be 2s.
But a 2 can be 1 or 4 and 1 or 3.
Yeah. Well, and the 3 has to come out.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. Is there a reason that couldn't be... Oh, yeah.
6
it can't be
plus
6.
1 or 2 is already 9, so we run out of space.
Right.
Oh, but this group of 3 is going to have a 1 on it. It's maximum 8. So this can't be a 1. So this isn't a 4. Oh, and this was maximum 3 anyway, because this is minimum,
right.
6.
6.
But now we have a 2-4 pair here, so this is 1 and 3. I guess it could technically be a 5, because you could do 1, 2, 5.
Well,
for
and
8.
the white Kropke dot there with the 2, 4, they're... Yeah. And that's
Also
a 1, 3, 5 triple.
Yeah. And as well as the 2, 4, so 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go ahead and put the options here. That would be a 1, 2, and a 1 for 4. I don't think that actually works, because one of these has to be a 1. So that actually removes the ability for this to be a 4, because this is minimum 2 plus a 1-2 pair. That could be 3, yeah. So 1, 2, and 2 is 5.
In box 3, the white Kropke dot in the center, or well, the 1, 3, 5 in the center. All right, let's start from the 5. If it's a 1, 4, it comes 2 across, and that would have to be 3. Because the 5 if the 5 has 1, then the 5 is 1, 4. Coming across the Kropke dot makes that 2. It can't be 1, it has to be 3 on the other white Kropke dot. If
Right.
it's 3, it's 2 and 4. It can't be 3, so it would have to be 5. So the 1 comes off of that. So 1 definitely has to be on the arrow at least once.
Yeah.
Is there a
But
negative
3,
constraint? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure this is 3. But all circle digits are different. So all of these have to be different, I guess. But 3 has to be one of these two. Because
Yeah.
if this was a
If it's
1,
1,
this ended up being a
that's
3.
3.
And
And if
3,
it's 3,
it's
that's
already
5.
a 3. Yeah, so this isn't a 3. These two can be the same. Because I can put like 4 and then 5s and 6. So all that really matters here, I mean, clearly we don't have 1 in any of those.
In box 8, the circle
Yeah.
can't be a 6 because there has to be a 1 on the arrow that comes down from box 4 because that is 1, 2, or 1, 3. So the only way to make 6, because it's a palindrome,
Right.
and they can't all be 2. And the only other way to do it would be with 2 1s and a 4. And you can't put a 1 in box 8 because there's already a 1 in box 8.
Right. I forgot about the palindrome. So you can do 2 2s and a 1 for 5. You could do 2 2s and a 3 for 7. 2 3s and a 1 for 7.
2 2s and a 4 for 8.
You couldn't do 2 3s.
No, actually, you couldn't do 2 2s and a 4 for 8, because if that was the case, it would be 2, which would make that 1 3 in box 8, and 1 3 and 1. It would make the other circle 8, and you can't have two circles that are the same.
Okay.
Since all circled digits are different.
Yeah. And if this is not a 5, well, I guess this would be 2 or 4. Because you have 6, 7, 8, 9.
So, okay, wait a minute. Because, okay, so we knew it couldn't be 2. It can be 2 3s and a 2 for 8. Yeah, it can have a 4 in the middle of it. 2 2s and a 4 for 8.
No, you just said that 2 2s and a 4 isn't
Oh, right.
allowed.
It was the 2 3s and a 2. That's what I meant.
Yeah, 2 2s and a 5. Or, I guess more accurately, if I go in the opposite direction. If this is a 4, then these would have to both be 2s. So that can't be a 4. Because you couldn't do 3s, because that would be 10. Two 4s and a 1 would make this a 9. And this would end up being a 2 and a pair of 1s. But that's fine, this one can still be a 1. Oh, this has to have 2 of the digits from 1, 2, and 3. But it can't be all of the digits 1, 2, and 3, because then that would break this.
Right.
So that's not a 6. Now I'm really hoping this isn't a 5. But it has to be 2 of the digits from 1, 2, and 3. Because if it wasn't,
Right.
the smallest you could make it is 1, 4, and 5, which is 10. So we have a 1, 2, 3 triple. But I guess what matters most for that is this pair. I guess it's not that interesting, because it's too many digits at the moment. this cannot be 1, 2, 4. And the reason that that's important is that this cannot be an 8 unless this is 1, 2, 4, because I can't put a 2 here. And the reason I know it can't be 1, 2, 4 is because this is a 2 or a 4. So 8 is removed as a possibility. Because this is minimum 6, so that would have to be a 2 to make 8. Or 7, which is 1, 2, 4, which I just showed it couldn't be.
Right.
And 1. And obviously you can't do 3 and 6, because that's 9. But you can still do 1, 2, 3, and 3. Or 1, 2, 3, and... Well, you can't do 1, 2, 3, and 1. So if this would be a 7, this would have to be 1, and that would have to be 1, 2, and 3. So this is a 9, because 7 didn't work.
Right.
And I can still make 8 being 1, 2, 5. I think that's a 1, a 2, a 4, and a 1. That wouldn't work.
The elbow, the green that's 2, 4.
Yeah.
That can't be a 4 now. Because you'd have to get 5. And if that's a 4, then it's a 2, and then that's 3, that's 7. Those would have to both be 1. If that's
Right.
4.
Okay,
yeah.
so 2, 4, 1. And then 5 isn't consecutive with 2, so this is a 3. That makes this a 5. And 1 and 2 and 5 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. These are the same, so 1 and 2 is out. 9 is out from both of these, which means we don't have a 6 here. 2 and 3, 5, and 1, but most importantly, 1 has to be one of these two, so that's not a 1, that's not a 1, these are 1s. But now, I can't put a pair of 4s, because that would be 8 plus 1 is 9. And I can't put a 5 with a pair of 2s, because that's 9. 2, 3 pair makes that a 1. And we have to end up with either 4 and 1 is 5, or 6 and 1 is 7.
It can't be 8 because it's odd.
Yeah. This is a 2, 3 pair. What's left over in this column? 4, 2, 5, and 1, and not 9 in those two. So that's not super exciting, so maybe we just get rid of all of that.
Alright, the 2 3s that are in boxes 4, 5, those are different. I mean, those two are the same, and those two are different in the column. Those two are the same. and blue in box 4.
But red has to be one of these three.
Right.
And we also know that red is one of these two. So I don't know if it's helpful.
And the arrow that comes from the circle in box 5, unless that's 4, it's blue.
Right. And blue is in one of these positions. If blue was on
Blue
here,
can't be over there. Because it can't be 1. It can't be the other of 2 or 3. And it
and if it
can't
was
be
a
4.
4, it would break the elbow here.
Right. So that can't be blue.
Now that doesn't mean that this isn't, or that doesn't mean that this is blue or not blue, because that blue has to be over there.
Right.
Then we end up with blue is one of those two, red is one of those two. Red is one of those two. That's a red-blue pair.
Well, where can you put red in row 4?
It's not in the middle.
It can't be in box 6, because if it were red there, then it would have to be red on the other side of the palindrome, and it can't because it sees red.
Right, so we end up with red like this. That can't be red, because red had to be one of those two. Wait, can red be on here?
It can't be both 2 and 3. It can't be 1 and 2. Could it be 3 and 4?
Well, if this was red, if it was a 2, you'd have to put 1 and 3, which doesn't work. And if it's 3, you'd have to put... You could put 2 here, and 4. So I guess, where can blue go in this box, which is not across the middle, or either of those? If this was blue, as a 2, you couldn't put 1 or 3 here, because of the red and the 1.
Right.
So if this was 3, you couldn't put 2, but you could put 4. You can do 3, 4, I think this would have to be 5 and then 6.
Oh.
Oh,
All right. The circle in box 8. If that were
yeah,
a 5, then the reds would have to be 2.
yeah,
But the circle in box 1 would have to be... Oh, no, because it could be 7 or 8 still.
yeah. But if this was a 7, you've got
It's
a pair of
7. Okay,
3s,
that's
and this is 8, which would make this 6,
6.
which is a pair of 2s.
And
That
what
would be
does...
4, which would be a pair of 2s.
Okay, no, it's nothing interferes there.
I don't
I
think
knew
so,
there was
no.
something that rotated that around. If that's 8, that's 7, and that's 5. That's 8. That's a pair of 3s. That's a pair of 2s. That's 7. Oh, but okay, wait a minute. If 8, that's 6. Okay, yeah, that didn't interfere.
If this was a 6, we've got 2s here, but that would make this an 8. And if this is an 8, then it's an 8. So one of these has to be an 8. Right? Because a 6 placing a 2 means this can't be 1, 2, 4.
Right.
So this can't be an 8, which takes 4s off of there, which means we know it's blue.
They're blue.
Which means we know that this is blue, and we know that it cannot be 2, because then this couldn't be 1 or 3, because this would be 3. So this is a 3, that's a 2, excuse me, this is a 4, because that's a 2. This is a 3, this is a 3, an 8, a 7, 5s come off, 3s come off, this is a 2, not a 2, 1, 4 pair. These are 3s, this is a 6, this is a 2, this is a 5. And I'm just going to remove all the coloring. Not a 6, not a 7. 5, 6, 7, 9. And this one's not a 7.
You can't have 9 on the Kropke dot.
Because it couldn't pair with an 8.
But the
6
6
is...
has to be on there.
Right, because it's the only even.
Alright, well, column 3. The 4 that's in the Kropke with the Kropke dots.
Has
it
to go
can't
up
go
to
to
5.
a 3.
And so this is a 6.
6,
6, 5, 7, 8 pair. 6 is one of those two. I don't think that causes any messes. We can say that the rest of this column, 1, 3, 7, 8, and 9 is out, 2 and 5. And I guess I want to bring this one back, 4, 2, 5, and 1, 3 and 9. This one's not an 8, this one's not a 3, 6, 7, 8 triples, so that's not a 6, and these are 2, 4, and 5. This one sees 2 and 4, so that's a 5. 2, 4 pair. I guess that just means 4 is one of those two.
Well, row 6, the 5 can be placed.
It's neither of those, and it's not there, so that's a 5. We've got...
4 can't go on the Kropke dot in box 5.
Because it couldn't be 3 or 5. So that means that's a 4. And 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 6, 8. Not 8s. So this one's odd, so this is even. 6, 7 pair. 6, 8, 9. 6, 8, 6, 8. 3, 7, 9 triple. 3, 7, 9. And 5 and 6. Not 1, 2, not 1, and only 1 in this column is here. Got 4 1s looking into the box. It's those two and those two. You can't put a 4 on here, so 4 is one of those two. You could do 6, 7, 8, or 9. This one's not a 6. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, not a 9, not a 9. And I just realized this 9 has to be on here. So this is an 8-9 pair. 4, 6, 7 makes this a 3. 6,
4, 6
4,
comes out.
2, 5, and 8.
7? Oh, no, 8, yeah. Because that was 4, 6, 7.
Yeah.
3 can be placed in box 7.
Here, because of that 3 and, yeah, just that 3. What's left over in the box? 2, 5, 8, and 4, I think? That's not a 5, that's not 4 or 5. 2, 8 pair, 4, 5. This is what? It's not a 1. 6. Be either of those.
Yeah.
There's some stuff up over here. A lot of stuff that happened up. And this can't be a 6 because the 6 that was here. So I don't see a 7.
And 9.
Oh.
Yeah. 2
This
and
is
8.
what? Is 8 above the 2. And then I don't see a 3 or
9.
It's 3 above 9. And then... Right, let's go across here. 2. It's there. 6.
6 and
Here.
8.
And then how about these two? 1, 4, and... Well...
9.
Yeah, have to go that way. Because if this can't be 1 or 4, then it's whatever's left over. And if that can't be a 1, then it must be the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was it. There we go. Alright. That one was a little tougher than the previous one. But it was still a good puzzle. I don't like that I keep saying it's still a good puzzle. I think they wouldn't have ended up on the Cracking the Cryptic channel if they weren't good puzzles.
True.
Although, I didn't particularly like the other one from a week ago, but that doesn't mean it's not a good puzzle, it just means I didn't like it. But yeah. Anyway, that one was fun. I liked that one. The way these interacted was interesting. The circles. And I was a bit surprised how the palindrome in here worked, although it took a little bit to figure out, I think, these two circles. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's go on to puzzle number 3 for today. Four-sided Calganundrum. By pause, normal Sudoku rules apply. If a square containing n plus appears in the grid, then consider the two pairs of diagonally opposite digits in the 2x2 surrounding the square. Each of those two pairs of digits has a sum of n. If a square just containing the plus sign appears in the grid, then the two pairs of diagonally opposing digits in the 2x2 surrounding the square must still sum to the same n. These rules also apply to the other operations of subtraction, multiplication, and division. Thank you to everyone who has assisted in the construction. It is much appreciated. Interesting. So we're dealing with two pairs of diagonally opposing digits. If a square containing n plus appears in the grid, each of those two pairs of digits has a sum of n. If a square just containing the plus sign appears in the grid, then the two pairs of diagonally opposing digits must still sum to the same n. I'm guessing what with just the plus sign is they sum to the same thing, or whatever operation you apply there, that results in the same answer. You just don't know what it is ahead of time. It's whether you're given the solution or not. Is that your interpretation of the rules, Mama?
I think I want to see the grid first.
Okay. So, we've got this plus sign here.
Right.
We've got a couple of multiplications. And okay, so this is a 12 plus and a 13 plus and a blank plus. And we've got an 11 plus. So I think it just means that this is these two, this pair and this pair.
Right.
The red diagonal. Yeah, they sum to the same thing. We just don't know what. Okay. If they divide to become 2, then they have to be all of the even digits, don't they?
Well, no,
I guess the only odd digit that's possible is a 1.
Well, 3 and 6.
Right. 3 and 6. And...
Because 2,
well,
4, 4, 8.
Okay.
3 and 6.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
It's the same digits that appear on the 1 to 2 ratio dot.
Right.
I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier.
Well, and there's rows 8 and 9. The two squares that have the yeah. Those would be the 1, 2, 4, 3, 6, 8. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Whatever.
And we also know that these couldn't be all the same. Because if they were all the same, then those 4 digits would have to appear in this row. Well, they couldn't be in these 2 boxes, and then they don't fit in just 3 cells. So they have to have some difference somewhere. trying to think what the multiplications could be in box 5. Because whatever pair of digits I place here, they have to have the same factors as the ones I place here. Which I think is going to greatly restrict this one. And could they be odd only? I don't think so. Because, I mean, from the odd digits... Wait, could I use a 1 at all? Yeah, I could. 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. And 2 and 4. And 1 8. But so if it was only odd digits, that would be 1 and 3, 1 and 5, 1 and 7, 1 and 9. Or 3 and 5. I don't need to list them all, even though I seemingly want to. But if I did 1 and an odd digit, I wouldn't be able to get that odd digit, that odd factor back again, without using another even digit in the box. So, like, what numbers have a 3, for example? 3, 6, and 9 all have 3s as factors. And, so if I were to put a 3 with an odd digit as its multiplicative partner, then, the other diagonal is going to have to use either 6 or 9. But there's no way to do that without so if I put a 3 here and I put an odd digit, 1, 5, 7, or 9, let's say I do 3 and 5. Well, 3 and 5 isn't possible because those are both prime. And in fact, I don't think I could use 5 on the multiplication at all.
No, you can't.
Because, and the same would be true for 7 then, because 5 and 7 are prime numbers that don't reappear in any of the digits 1 through 9.
Well, then, so, the 2 corners, yeah, are 5 and 7. So across from with the 11, 6 or 4, and the 13 is 6 or 8.
And then across from the 4 or 6 is 2, 6, or 4, 8. It just has to still be even. Okay. So, okay, so how could I put 9 in here at all? 9 has 2 factors of 3. So that means I have to put the 3 and the 6 together, don't I? So it's going to have to be 9 and 2 and 3 and 6 for 18.
Right.
then
1, 4,
and 2, 8.
8, yeah.
So the only digit that overlapped between those two is 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because a 9 is going to have to pair with a 2, and a 3 and a 6. And then the 8 is going to have to pair.
Okay, yeah, they're opposite diagonals, but that's okay. I see what I'm understanding that.
And then an 8 is going to have to pair with a 1, and then the opposite we do 4 and 2.
2 and 4. So yeah, 2 has to be in the center of that box.
And then 4 and 9. And then we have 3, 6, 1, 8. Well, I can't put 1 here at all now, because it would have to pair with 2. But I think that's the only thing that gets removed. Separation of 4 would be 8 or 5 here. And then separation of 2 would be 7 or 3 or 6. And we can't do a 7 because it's on this thing. So this ends up being a 3, 6 pair.
Oh, back up where it's the sum is the 13. You can't have 1 or 3.
6 pairs with 3, and 1 pairs with 8. But then going back across here, this is 5 or 7. 6, 8, 6, 8, 1, 3.
And the 11, 6 and 8 goes to 3 or 5.
Six goes to 5. Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter, because there's no way that these can be the same, because they sum to different digits. But we do know that 5 has to be one of these two. Because it's either 6 and 5 and 6, 7, or 8 and 3 and 8 and 5. So we know 5 has to be one of those two. I don't know if that's useful because it doesn't impact up here, but... Okay. If this is minimum 5, then this has to be minimum Well, also 5, right? No. Because this could be it couldn't be a pair of 3s. Oh yeah, it could. I don't see a reason why this couldn't be a pair of 3s and a 1 and a 5. Yeah, that's not helpful. But this is maximum 9, plus 3 is 12. So 5 and 7 is 12. But this is still 1 through 7 less 2. So that's not that helpful. Could this avoid 6 or 8? I don't think so. The reason being is if it didn't have 6 or 8, it would be 1 through 4, but 3 has to pair with 6. So we know we have 6 or 8 on here. I don't know if that's useful. If this was 8, does this end up being 6? Is 8 and 5 and 6. So if this is 8, that's 6.
Right.
If this is 6, this is 4. That just means 6 has to be one of these two, so 6 comes out, 3 comes out. Well, this has to have 4 or 8 on it. It can't have both 4 and 8, and it can't have both 1 and 3. So 1, 3, 4, 6, 8. That's a quintuple, a set of 5. So 5, 7, and 9, I think, are what's left over, and they're placed here. And this has to be an odd digit that's not 1. And now, this sum is quite large. But 9 and 5 is 14, which is not possible. And 7 and 7 is 14, which is again not possible in this direction. So at least one of these is a 5. And so this is 10 or 12. Which means 7 or 9.
Yeah.
And if either of these are a 7, well, that ends up being 9 and 3. And if these are both 5s, then that's, well, options. Okay.
Okay. The corner between boxes 4, 5, 7, and 8, the 4 difference going from the 3, 5, 7, 9. 3 goes to 7.
It's going to
5
have to
goes
still
1.
be odd.
Yeah.
I think it's just 3, 5, 7, 9 again, isn't it?
It could be 1, because 5 could go to 1.
Right.
In that instance.
But 3 and 7 go to the other. Well, it can't be 5 or 7. Because of the 5, 7 here. So, in that case, this can't be a 9, because that would have to go to 5.
Right.
And this can't be a 3, because that would have to go to 7. So, I mean, 5 and 7 both work, and 9 goes to 7 there.
Right. It's a 5, 7, 9 triple. So
right.
the 3, 5 in the corner.
3,
3.
8, 8, 6, 6, 5, 7. 7, 5, 9, 3, 1, 4, 9, 5. Well, that's not a 3. This is an 8 because that's separated by 4. Minus 2 becomes 6. 3, 8. We know we have 2, but we don't know what the other is. 4, 6, not 5.
Well, that's the
3,
top
8.
one there. 7, 9 pair. In box 8. And that 2 is 8 is resolvable also because it's a difference of 2. Yeah. That's 8. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a hard time with that.
Box 8 has 1, 2, and 4 left. And that's a 1, 4 pair.
The
Column
2s
4
here
has
took the
3
2s
and
out,
6
which took the
left.
1s out. Say again, sorry?
Column 4 has 3 and 6 left.
So this is a 7
Actually,
then.
7.
Yeah. This one I just sort of did automatically, but the 2 2s here took the 2s out as a possibility, but also took the 1s out as a possibility, which led to that. This row is what, 9 and 5? And I don't see 5 in this row either, or a 7.
Well, it's not 7 because that 5, 9 with the 2 difference. Both go to 7. Because the 5 can't go to 3 because there's a 3.
Right. This is what, 4? 1, 2, and 9. Okay.
Alright, well, let's just go do all of them because they whatever the 2 diagonals sum to 12. Oh, sorry, they're in box 4.
Uh-huh.
So the what sums to 12 And then you can eliminate
3,
the
9, 9 and 3, 3 and 9, 4s and 8s, 8 and 4, 7s and 5s, 5, 7, 8, 4. 2 and
2,
3,
3, and 9 and 6.
3, 6, 3 apparently. These two are 5 and 9. I guess for some reason I want to do the top row first. Do all of the things: 8, 5, 7, 3, 9, 4, 6, 2, 6, 9, and a 3. This is a 7 because of these two 7s, which means they have to be in this row. And we talked earlier about how 7s can't go on a multiplication.
And 5s can't either. So
right.
you place the 5.
It's the 5, 7 here, and of course it up there. So we've got 5 and 7 going across here. Got a pair of 5s. Place that. And this is in the 7 because of that. And then whatever the difference between these two is, it's the same here. I guess 5, 4, 7, 6, 1, and 9. So 8 would be 1. 2 is 5, 3 is 4. And
Well,
2, 3, 8,
column 1
9.
has 1, 6, and 9.
This one's 9. And 2, 6, and
2,
4, maybe?
4, yeah. All right, well, between... Okay, because, yeah, the 5, 4, and 9 is a difference of 5. 3, 4. Difference of 4. 4 and 8. 2 and 6. Okay, there's lots of options.
Okay. So I guess maybe we look at this multiplication then?
Or column 7 has 1, 2, 9, 3.
1, 2, 3, and 9. So that's not a 9. But we have to have 3 as one of these two. Oh, no, we know that 9 is on here because of the 9 here. And so because we have a 9, it's going to have to be this group again.
Right.
Uh, 2, 3, 6, and 9, 5, and 7, 1, 4, 8, 1, 4, 2, 6, 2, 1, 4, 6, 3, 2, 9, 6, 3, 4, not a 2, 1, not a 1, not 4, not 3, not 9, 2, 9, 6, 9, 6, not a 9, 2, 8 makes it 3, which is a difference of 4. So 8, 2, 2, 8, 4, 1. That's not right. 1 and 4. That way those are in a 2 to 1
right.
fashion, and that should be the end of the puzzle. Nice. That one was quite difficult. The fact that 5 and 7 couldn't be on here,
Yeah.
was really important, and then the where did 8 and 9 go, and how that overlaps was really important. So that was really interesting how that it sort of expanded once we got out from there. But yeah, that was a really interesting puzzle how that all worked out. So should have time for maybe one more. This one is Rodeo by Flash Rowdon, maybe?
Or group.
Maybe.
Well, because like group, OU, ooh.
Yeah, maybe. I think Groudon is a Pokemon.
No, I wouldn't know.
But I could be wrong, and it could be spelled different regardless. So, hopefully one of those pronunciations is correct. Place the digits 1 to 6 once each in every row, column, and 3x2 box. No two cells separated by a chess knight's move may share the same digit. An orange circle indicates an odd digit. A blue square indicates an even digit, and digits increase along a thermometer. Starting from the bulb end, and digits along an arrow sum to the digit in the arrow's circle. Alright. Well, an odd and an even makes an odd.
Well, and since it's it has to be 3 or 5 because it's odd. No, the circle is 3 or 5.
Oh, right. Anti-knight. So what does that mean for this digit? Well, in this box, it has to be one of these two. And then for this one, it has to be one of those two. And I guess maybe I should focus on just this 1, 3. It has to be one of those two. And then over here, it has to be one of those two. And I have a strong feeling that it's not this one. But it's just anti-knight. So the blue one,
Well,
be either of those.
Okay, if the orange 1, 3 is the end of the thermo there,
Yeah.
it would have to be a 3, which would make that 1. 3, 2, 5. Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Blue can be any of those 3.
Now, orange in box 5 is going to be the it's going to be the bottom 2 corners.
And with it having to be one of these two, it can't be this one.
Right. And having to be one of the other 2 on the outside, it can't be the center in.
So this one's not orange, which means this is a 3. Right?
Yeah.
So in this case, we just end up with 3s like this, and then let's take out orange for a moment. I probably actually don't need any coloring anymore.
1 can be placed in box 2.
5 as well in box 1, because it's ruled out of this cell and there. So we're probably going to end up with needing to paint these two. So where can 1 go in here? It's not here. It's neither of those two. And in here, it's not there, there, or there. And not there. And not here or here. And it can't be this one or that.
Well, and 1 can't go in the middle of a thermo.
Oh, right. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3. 3, 3. So then 2 isn't there, or these two. These two.
Column 4 needs a 4 and a 6, and the 6 can't go on the thermo bulb.
6, 4, 6, 6, 6, 4. I don't need coloring anymore. 2 ends up being here. 5, 4. This is a 2, I think.
4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6. This is a 2 then. This one should be a 4. Need a 5 and a 6. And that's done.
That was
That
quickie.
one was really speedy. Yeah.
5, just under 6 minutes. 5:46.
Getting to do the length of this puzzle thing. Yeah, that was really fast. I think just recognizing how the interaction from the anti-knight was all you needed in that one, and these thermals, of course, because that got the 1 off of here.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. We still have 20 minutes, so let's take a look at this one. I'm Desperately Seeking Barbie by Panthera. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Colors used in this puzzle are pink and yellow. The clues outside the grid indicate the order of runs of contiguous cells found in that row or column that must be shaded the color of the clue. The number in the clue indicates the sum of the cells in the run. There must be at least 1 unshaded cell between runs of the same color, though there is no need between runs of different colors. All runs are given. The black dot separates digits in a 1 to 2 ratio, and digits on the pink line are consecutive. All right. So where do we start? I'm thinking maybe this row? But the thing is, the numbers are so small, you can go 3, 11, and 2, 6, space 4.
Yeah, the largest sum is 34.
Which one's that one?
Column 3.
Yeah. And
So there's still 11 unaccounted
yeah,
for.
and that can be anywhere in that column essentially. And that can be anywhere between 2 and 4 digits.
Right.
Well, we know that in this row, the 1 and the 2 are, well,
Singletons.
distinct. Yeah, they're singletons. We know that the 2 in this row is a singleton, the 2 in this column is a singleton. Any 1s and 2s are definitely singletons.
Okay, well, going back to row 7, where 20 comes first, or 23, the first digit can't be purple because
there's no purple runs.
there's no purple. And there's no purple since only the next 4 contain purple and above.
And does 23 have to be purple? Or excuse me, have to be 4 digits? No, because 3 can be 24.
It can be in 3.
So we know these 2 have to be purple.
And the 3 and the 5 is kind of, because they could be 2 singletons, a space, or at the most it can be, at the most it can be a 1 and a 2. No, it can't be 1 and 2, and one of them's a singleton.
Yeah.
And the other one is, and because it could be 1, 2, and 5, or 1, 4, and 3. And 20 kind of goes along the same thing as the 23 in
Right.
for rows 6 and 9. Row 9 is a purple 20.
Right.
So the 21 in column, and you can't do 7 in 4 for column, so that one's blank.
And this is
And that
a
has to be
7.
7. So
So I
that
know this
3
is blank.
purple, that's either 1, 2, or 3. But we know it has to be purple, so if it's not 3, then what to the left is purple. The pink line are consecutive. Okay. And 14 can go in 3, but it can't be more than 3 cells for
Right.
column 4.
Uh-huh.
In row 5, the 3 and the 4 on either end of what's there, those have
Uh-huh.
to both be singletons. Oh no, the 3 could be a 1, 2, but the 4 cannot be a 1,
Yeah.
3.
So the 4 is a singleton.
But we don't know if it's at the very end.
Yeah.
But yeah, 3 and 4 cannot both be split.
Oh, this 7. It cannot be purple continuing to the right. Because it has to end in yellow.
That's in yellow, right.
So none of those continue. And in fact,
Right.
none of these continue either.
Right.
And the 20 has to be at least 3 digits, because I need 13 remaining.
Right.
And because it's 20 to begin with.
And it can't go to the left because it's orange or yellow.
Right.
And
so,
the 3, it goes silver above it.
Right. So this is 13, and it can't be 6, 7.
Okay, well the 9
Uh-huh.
for column 2, that can't be 4 or 5. Well, I guess it could, because it could go 3 digits.
Right.
Because if it's purple in the next in row 8, then it has to be a 1 or a 2.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This cannot be purple, and it cannot be yellow. So that's gray. This cannot be purple or yellow, so it's gray. "21" would be a maximum of 6 digits. Because that would be 1 through 6.
Right. But that's 30. Yellow and purple sum to 34.
Right.
So there have to be a minimum of 2 cells that are not part of either one.
And it can't go 6 digits tall. So
Right.
it can only expand up 1 more. Three, 4, 5, and 6 are 18. So the 20 being 4 wide isn't going to be a problem. It can't have 1 and 2. The 11 cannot be 4 wide, because it would have to be 1, 2, 3, and 5. But we know that the 3 exists. Well, I guess, no, we don't know that the 3 exists. We know that the 4 exists. But if it is 1, 2, 3, and 5, then that covers the 3 and its possibility as being 1 and 2. So the 11 is only 3 wide at most, and it's probably only 2 wide. But the 18 and the 9 have to entirely fit in this region. And if the 9 was 3 tall, the 18 could only take up 1 space. The 18 has to be at least 2, and it can't be 2, it must be 3. The 18 has to be all of these, and this has to be 9. And a 4. And since this has to be the space of 3, and we can still put a yellow 3 here. So that's not...
It's going to have to be a yellow 3, since that's purple next to it.
Yeah, and that's all of those are done. And I shouldn't put white, I should put gray. And this is 18 in 3. Because that could be a yellow 2. Now we still don't have the 8 located, but 21 minus 7 is 14, which is possible in 2 digits. But this 11 must continue.
Right.
It can't be in one.
The 21 can't go more than the 5 cells, so that's done being purple. Well, that and it can't go anyway, because it's yellow is everything above that.
Yeah. Now I need 8 to exist over here somewhere. The 11 can't... Could I do 11 and 3 without a 3? 1 and 2 and 8. That's possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Can't be a 3, 6 pair. So 1 and 2. Oh, well, it has to be a yellow 2. So it can't be a 2 on the purple, and it can't be a 1. 4 and 8 is 12, plus 6 to make 18, 5 or 7 here. Because it can't expand higher, but that could be a yellow 2.
Right.
Now, 23 minus 6 is 17. I could technically do an 8, 9. And these 3 are 14. So that would be 7 and 2, 5, or 1, 6. Or 5 and we would need to sum to 9, which would be 1, 8, or 2, 7. But now, 8 would have to be 1 and 2, but 4 could be a 7 here, and finish the 11. What's left over in here? 6, 3, 4, and 9 are all out. This one's not an 8. This one's not a 7. It's not super helpful. Oh, we also know that this one's not a 2, because the 2 up here.
Right. Okay, in row 7, if that next cell after that purple is yellow, it would have to be just a 3. It can't be a yellow 1. No,
it
it could
can't
be
be purple.
Oh, right, it can't
the
be purple.
23. This has to be 8, 9.
Right.
Because we're done
Right.
with the
Now
23.
if that's yellow, it has to just be the 3. Otherwise it has to be, because then there's the 3 above it. If it's anything other than 3, it would have to be a 1 with the 2 above it, but then it would be the 7 would have to continue up, and that breaks the 2.
Right.
But it could be the 3 by itself.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to be quite yet.
Right.
So this is maximum 5. Because the purple could extend upwards
Right.
still.
Now that the purple just above the 9 can't be a 2, because then that would have to pair with a 3, and there's a 3 in row 5.
Right.
Because it can't go more than 2 more, or 1 more above it, yeah.
Exactly. We're approaching 10. 20. If this is a 5 and it doesn't continue, it would have to be 8, 7, and 5.
Well, and there's still the 8 to take into effect in column 5.
Right. Now, we know that this one's not purple.
Right.
And if this was purple, we'd have a 4-digit yellow. And that would have to be 1, 2, 3,
5.
and 5.
Right, and we can't
so
do
that's
that.
not possible. So this is purple, and this one's not purple. This has to be an 8 or an 8. Because it can't go above it, and it can't go below it.
Right. 4 and 8 is 12. We need another 8.
Well, it can't be a 5. Which means that the purple continues upwards, and this is a 1-2 pair.
Yeah.
But
and the purple has to sum to 5 above the, so that's 2, 3,
5.
Yeah.
Because 8 and 4 is 12, plus another 8 is
another
20.
8, yeah.
14, 21.
So the purples are all done
9.
now.
Right. So now it's just yellows that we need to do. And underneath the 8 has to be a yellow 3.
Right.
Since this is gray. And it is after 10, so let me know when you need to hit the stop button.
Yeah, we can go from May until like 10 after.
Okay.
That's probably not enough to get this done, but
We've got 6 and 4 here. The 4 has to be alone, which I think means the 6 has to be alone. Because I've already got 1, 2, and 3.
right.
So
Yeah,
4
the
and
6
5
and the
is
4
9.
are both
So yeah.
singletons.
2 and 1 are obviously both singletons. What's left over in this box? 3, 8, 1, 4, and 5. And this isn't 6 or 9.
Well, in row 6, the first cell can't be a 2.
Right.
Because the 2 is a singleton.
And we know that 1 has to be one of these 2 in this row.
Right.
Because it can't be
Right.
here. And it can't be here, because then that would leave no space for the 2. 5 has to be one of those. And if this
Not
was 5...
necessarily. It could be 1, 4.
Oh, right. And the 2 has to be one of these 2. This can't be a 2, so that's a 2. So that's a 1. Yellow and gray. And this
And
one
the
is
1
done.
would be the yellow one, yeah.
And this 2 becomes 15.
Well, and the 5 is now just a 5 because it can't be 1, 4 because either way it would end up under the 5 there.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's probably 5, but it might not be.
Yeah, it's possible to do a 5 here to connect to this 2.
Well, if the 5 is under the 2, well, yeah, because 11 only has to have 2.
Now,
Because that wouldn't be able to be an 8. It would have to go up 1 more if that's the 5 underneath it.
Yeah. It has to go up 1 regardless, because I still need 13, and that has to be done in 2 digits.
Right.
Which means this is 4.
Yeah.
Which means this is 6. Because the 4 and the 6 had to be singletons.
Right.
And the 3, 8, and then this 6 needs to extend up 1 to be a 7. And that row or column is complete.
Yeah, going back to column 7, the 15.
Yeah.
We now have 6, and we need 9 more. It can't be the 5 underneath it, because then that would have to be a 4, and it can't go up more than 2. It can't go up to there, because 11 requires at least 2, and there has to be a space in between.
Okay, so then that means this has to be 5. Because it couldn't be 1, 4, is that then this 5 wouldn't be able to expand.
Right, so that 15 concludes with a 9 above the 4.
Because the 11 has to be 2.
Right.
And that means this is a 9, because that's a 2, 6, 7 triple.
Which is 14. Oh, no, that's 15.
Yeah, and the first digit's gray anyway, so...
Oh, right.
What's left over in this row? I don't see a 7. And I don't see a 6. Which this one can't be the 6, so that's fixed.
Yeah, the 14 yellow has to include that 1. Because 6 and 13 is the most you can get from that, so it'll have to include the next one.
Uh-huh. So we know that this one's yellow.
Right.
Because
And
12 needs at least 2, so it includes the 9. And the
right,
14
so
needs to include the 1, so this is gray.
yeah, and the 6, 7 can't be together in that for that 2, 6 because that's 13 with one more is 14, which loses it. So that
The
one
first
can't be
one's
2.
not 2. And this has to be at least, well, it's going to have to be only 1, because it has to be 12. And 1 and 2 are already out.
Oh, and that's going to have to be 2 and 6 for the 14 because 2 and 7 and 1 is 10, which would require, oh no, a 4. Never mind.
But this
I
is
for
4
some
and
reason
5. Well, not
right.
necessarily.
No, because I was thinking 13, which is where which gave me a 3.
Yeah.
So 2 and 6 is 8 and 1 is 9, which would be a 4. No. 5. And
Yeah.
if it's 2 and 7, it's yeah, that's a 4 or 5 in that yellow space in between.
Unless it's just these 3,
Oh, right.
in which case these need to be 13. But it couldn't be a 6, 7 pair. And you couldn't do 13 with a 2. So it is all 3 of them, and this is 4 or 5. Now these 2 have to continue upwards, because 3 needs to continue into 10, and 11 needs to be at least 2 digits.
No, it could be just the 3. Cuz 1 and 7 is 8 plus 6 is 14.
2, 6, 7 triple.
Oh, right. I knew
And
that.
6, 7 here. Because this is 4,
Right,
5,
yeah.
and 9, which actually the 9's out of there, so this is a 9. So that had to be 4, 5 anyway, because of the 9.
Right. Which leaves
8 in the row?
8.
7 and 5? No, yeah, 7 and 5. Well, now this can't be 3, 7, so it has to continue more. Oh, and this 20 is the only yellow in that row, so this is all gray. And now these have to be 11, so that's 6 or 7. And it can't be a 7, so this is a 6 and a 5, a 4 there. And now
So
this
that's
is
now
2,
a 2, 6.
6.
Yeah.
2, 6, 7. 7s are out of these 2, so that's a 7 because of the 1, 2, 5 triple. What's left over? 1, 2, 5, 3, 7, and 9.
And the yellow 2 in box 4 is the last of the yellows in that row.
These are all gray. And 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 2, 7, and 9. This 6 is part of the 13, so it continues
There's the
upwards
7.
1. This one's gray now. 7. That 13 is done.
And so is the yellow in that column.
And what's left over in this column? 6, 5, 2, 3, 9, and 7. This 7 isn't done.
It can't be a singleton. It goes up or down.
Yeah. Now, this is gray, because the 11 and the 15 had to be separated.
Right. So the yellow is a 2. To the left. Go left. Because it's 13, 2, 4, all yellow.
Yeah. This one's 2, but this one could be 1 and 3.
Yeah, but the 2 going up for the 7, it has to be a 5 above it because it can't be 1, 2, 4. There's a 4 in the column.
Right. So that one's done.
And the yellow has to continue for the 9 because there's a 9 in the column.
So this 10 is 1, 2, 3, and
1, 2, 4. All right.
20.
So I think that last 10 is going to have to be 3 and 7 for column 9. Because 1, 2, and 4 are out.
Hmm. Okay, yeah,
And
then it has to be 3, 7. Because that's the only
because I don't
way.
think we can do 3 and 10 and 3 with.
It would have to be 3, 5, and another digit, but I only have room for 2. So,
Right.
3, 5, and 6. But also the 5's out, so it's 3, 6, and 7, which is way too huge. Which means the middle digit is a 3 or 7.
And 3 comes out of the first column of that box.
Right. Which paired with 8, so 5 and 6. 1, 3 pair makes a 5. 4, 8 pair makes a 6. Um, 9. Well, if this was a 3 or a 7, you could do 3 and 1. But these have to pair to sum to 9, which is 7 and 2. Although, if this was a 3 and a 7, it's not going to work anyway, so that's a 7 and a 2. Which I think you just said.
Yeah.
Oh, and I can
But it
still
can
do
still
1
be,
and 3.
and it can still be 5, 1, 3 across the top. So either way, that's.
Yeah. This column's almost done. 1, 4, 2, 3, 7, 6, and 5. 8 and 9. Now it is done.
3, 8, and 9 are all that's left in box 9, and the 8 is in column 9. So that's 8.
Wait, what? Oh, so you meant in box
Yeah, box
3
3.
and
I
column
don't know what I
7.
said now. So that's a
Um,
3, 9 pair.
yeah. 4, 8. Not an 8, 1, 4. So that 9's done. So this is a gray 9 and a yellow 3. Not a 4. This is a... No, it's a
7?
9.
8. It's a 9.
It's one of the digits, 1, 3, or 4, but
That's
it has to
something.
be a 4. 1, 3, 8, 1. 1, 2, I don't see a 3. This one's a 4
Or a
down
7.
here. 7.
Box 2, yeah.
What's left
2
over?
and 5.
Those aren't done. But 9, 4, 7, 2, 5, and 3. This one's a 1. This is a 6. This is an 8. The 2 over here. We still have 1 and 5. This row, I don't see a 4. And I don't see a 7. 1, 2, 5, and something else.
No, it can't be 5 because there's a 5 in the box.
True. So
1,
I don't
2,
see a
3,
6
6.
and a 3.
3.
So that's 1. This is a 3, a 2, a 6, a 5, a 2, a 5, a 1, and we're done. Now only 15 minutes over.
That's not too bad.
Oh, alright. That was a pretty interesting puzzle. Alright. Then, liked the puzzle. Yeah, alright. So, that will be it for today. And, we will see you all next week with some more Sudoku. Although, I have been dropping some frames. I don't know why that is. Hopefully that hasn't been too many problems. But the bitrate is really low, so I don't know why that is. Whatever. It doesn't affect, our side of things. It just affects the recording. Or, well, the upload. I don't know if it shouldn't affect the recording. I don't think so. But, yeah. Alright, then. That will be it for today, and, we will see you all next week. Stream end. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, YouTube stuff.